Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is a strong contender for the biggest fighting game of all time, and while platform fighters usually have more conservative movesets than traditional entries, that's still a hell of a lot of moves to create. A lot of jabs, a lot of smash attacks, a lot of special moves. So who got it the best? Let's take a look. A disclaimer before we begin, a list like this is never going to be universally agreed on, that's totally fine, but I should go over the decision process to head off some of those disagreements. These choices are based off how the attacks function in a vacuum rather than how useful they are to the character. If you were building someone from scratch with any random combination of other attacks and traits, how often would you want a certain move for their kit? A move may be amazing on a character with fast airspeed, but how would it hold up on someone slower? A projectile may see a lot of use if it's your only option, but if you've already got a couple to work with, is it quite so appealing? This means character-specific abilities and resources become tricky to deal with, and after spending a lot of time deciding how to handle them, the answer is, I won't. Olimar's forward smash is pretty amazing, but how exactly does that work if you don't have Pikmin? The Shoto's down tilts are great since they cancel into special moves, but that's a passive ability that only they have access to. Any attack that dips into a unique resource or technique that extends outside the scope of that attack simply isn't in the running, so Little Mac's armor moves are on the table, but K rules aren't. Working from there, I assembled a big pile of every move that could even vaguely compete for the title, pitted them against each other with a lot of labbing, theory crafting, and tournament watching, and the end result is this list, which will start right now. Jabs are usually designed to be a character's fastest close quarters tool, not having much of a role beyond that and creating jab blocks. While that design's been exploitable in previous Smash games, that generally isn't the case in Ultimate, meaning that jabs which go beyond this role are a rare commodity. The strongest of these, in my opinion, is Roy's. This disjointed quick sword swipe is one of the few jabs created explicitly as a combo starter, and it does this incredibly well, knocking opponents at an excellent angle for follow-ups all the way to death percentage. Honorable mentions to Chrom, who gains better coverage at the cost of some early game combo potential, and Bowser Jr. for being the rare jab that kills, and oh boy does it kill. Oh, by the way, this is definitely getting patched. Forward tilts usually excel at exactly one thing: hitting the guy over there. Any additional utility is gravy, but you definitely want them to perform in at least that department, and nobody does it better than the Belmonts. These characters have some of the worst mobility in the entire game, and yet still feel difficult to catch, with forward tilt being a major part of that evasiveness. It has some degree of kill power and reasonable damage output, but its main purpose is to create a longer boxing game than your opponent can compete with, and it does this better than essentially any attack in the game. The ground in front of them is simply off limits, and running back to a pivot whip strike means that so is the ground where they used to be standing. Honorable mentions to Bowser's armored beast of a punch with good range and two-framing potential, and Squirtle's lightning quick combo and tech chase creator. Now, obviously, if we were talking about the original build of Ultimate, this discussion would be dominated by Pichu, but down tilts tend to be characters' best grounded poke, with the overall strongest combination of speed, range, and utility. It's rare to find a down tilt that kills, but they're important neutral tools for many characters as well as go-to combo starters, nobody showcasing this better than Incineroar with his long-legged sweep kick. This attack barely sends your opponent anywhere, meaning that the character with arguably the worst overall physics in the entire game can still effortlessly achieve combos well past death percent. It also comes out relatively quickly at frame 9, and Incineroar's legs are intangible, meaning that we're essentially dealing with a sword attack. The only thing remotely keeping this move in check is the fact that it's on the slowest runner in Ultimate. Faster characters would abuse this to no end. Many down tilts perform similar functions, and since I've already taken my stand on the best of them, we'll avoid the rest for honorable mentions. Those go to the Belmonts with their two-part get out of jail card, as well as Rob's insane speed, tripping potential, and the ability to chain into itself and other moves. Up tilts are many characters' most important anti-airs, designed to smack opponents out of the sky, and the best of them do this while also tacking on additional effects. Falco's up tilt has a generous, long-lasting hitbox, and the ending leg is low enough to allow him to get incredible follow-ups at any percent up to the point where it kill confirms. It's become his signature move in Ultimate, and makes approaching him from the air, or really approaching him at all, extremely dangerous. I do acknowledge that not every character could kill confirm off it in the same way as Falco. His extreme jump height really lets him abuse it, but its overall utility still just can't be denied. Honorable mentions go to Snake for one of the most notorious raw power attacks in Smash, only losing to Falco because it's at its most dangerous at the end of a stock instead of all throughout it, and Wario's intangible, long-lasting raise the roof that combos into whatever you feel like. Dash attacks are fairly versatile moves in Smash, serving as everything from combo starters to kill moves to general burst movement options, so how about one that does everything? Ganondorf's brutal shoulder bash has fantastic range, which allows it to catch landings and cross up shields, deals incredible damage, and simply kills people. Before he reaches that point though, he can also use the move Sour Spot as an all-purpose combo starter, including as a confirm into kill aerials. Honorable mentions to Fox, whose dash attack trades that raw kill power for additional speed and combo potential, and Palutena, whose invincible shield means that trying to land with an aerial, usually a solid strategy in Ultimate, often backfires spectacularly. With a few exceptions, forward smashes are usually expected to be simple kill moves off the side of the screen, which are generally very powerful because of the high commitment it takes to throw them out. Little Mac certainly fills the power quota, but also comes with a ridiculous bonus: super armor. As you'd expect for a fighter strictly limited to the ground, his normals are all very solid, but his forward smash got the absolute best of it, especially since the Smash team also thought it seemed fine to let it kill off the top or be used as a shield breaker depending on how it's angled. Honorable mentions go to Bowser Jr., who has one of the safest forward smashes while also being very powerful, and Corrin for being able to perform some extreme cheese with the chainsaw hit. Nope, unlike most multi-hits, you can't roll out of this, and in-shield SDI won't usually save you either if your shield is already damaged or if you're trapped at the ledge. Have fun! Down smashes are usually your go-to, I'm not sure which side of me you're about to be on move, and are typically weaker than other smash attacks in exchange for this coverage. Nobody seemed to tell Wolf, though, whose tipper down smash is hard to punish for many characters and kills unreasonably early, even after being nerfed. The breakpoint for its placement on this list, though, is its 2-frame potential, hitting well below the ledge and being fast enough to make the timing pretty easy. Honorable mentions to Mr. Game & Watch, whose down smash is very hard to punish and has amazing reward thanks to its berry sweet spot, and Ness, whose yo-yo is pretty tame as a traditional smash attack but completely invalidates a lot of recoveries. Up smashes are probably the most important category of smash attack due to their ability to be used directly out of shield as well as their anti-air potential, and it's common for them to have some degree of disjoint or invincibility. Snake takes this disjoint to an extreme degree though, with his mortar launcher being one of, if not the best ledge trapping tools in the game, as well as a viable anti-air in the traditional sense. It's not a typical up smash and is up against stiff competition, but it's hard to argue with that versatility and gives any character a ledge game all by itself. Honorable mentions go to Zero Suit Samus for her gigantic, disjointed anti-air which transitions from comboing to killing, and Ganondorf, narrowly beating out Ridley for the title of Big, Dumb, Platform-Spanning Arc due to its increased power, damage, and shield breaking potential. Neutral air is one of the most contested categories on this list. Many characters rely on them heavily in their game plan, and it's not uncommon for the attack to fulfill several roles in a single kit. Palutena's combination of speed, damage, combos, kill power, and large, long-lasting disjointed hitbox create a monster of a move that will be thrown out constantly throughout a match and has become infamous among Ultimate players. Whether chaining into itself, being used as an out-of-shield option, or going off stage for an easy edge guard, Palutena's neutral air is almost never a bad idea. Honorable mentions go to Young Link, who has the best overall balance of damage, combo potential, frame data, and kill power of these similar kick attacks, and Ike, whose sword swipe creates a one-button neutral and combo game, the only real drawback being that it's not good when rising, just landing. Forward airs can be combo moves, kill moves, or general spacing tools. They're usually a workhorse aerial and tend to have generous hitboxes. Mewtwo's forward air begins life as a combo starter before transitioning into a general purpose attack with some of the safest shield pressure of any aerial in the game, excellent range and speed, and really, really high kill power, making it amazing both in neutral and as an edgeguard tool. It's great even in Mewtwo's kit, who doesn't really have a way to abuse it until very high percents with Rising Confusion, so just think of how good it would be for characters who could reliably confirm into it. Honorable mentions to Captain Falcon, whose knee isn't the most versatile move but could likewise be abused to hell and back by many characters, and Bowser, whose colossal, high-powered, intangible, auto-canceling claw swipe gives him access to a more dangerous sword slash than the characters with swords. Back air is another crowded category. Because they require more difficult positioning than forward or neutral airs, they're often one of a character's better moves and serve as kill aerials for the majority of the roster. From game to game, Donkey Kong has consistently been the character to beat in terms of amazing back airs regardless of what the rest of his kit looks like, and in my opinion, his streak continues in Ultimate. This huge attack comes out fast, and it's incredibly quickly allowing 2 to be done out of a short hop, and has both a strong hit and a lingering sour spot which are integral to DK's neutral, edge guarding, and combo game. Honorable mentions to Inkling, whose back air lacks the kill power of DK but brings a strong disjoint, absurd safety on shield, and even better combo potential, and Corrin, whose wing strike is long-ranged, extremely strong, near unpunishable, and even provides a recovery boost, giving it an extra degree of utility over similar moves. Down airs provide landing coverage, momentum shifts, and most impressive looking, spikes, and lots of them, which in Ultimate also translates to combo potential against grounded opponents. Snake's down air doesn't spike, but it does do 20% with a 3-frame startup. Combined with the 3 more frames it takes to start jumping, that means that Snake has a 6-frame out of shield option that does 20%. That's the same speed as Whirling Fortress for the record, and this is assuming you're not tall enough for a full hop to connect with, in which case you'll eat 24. Snake's down air even floats him, meaning that you can use it as a stalling tactic and as a boost to your jumping approach. It does 20%. Honorable mentions go to Zelda, which is both one of the best traditional spikes as well as having a long-lasting sour spot which also spikes, unusual for a sour spot, and Yoshi, whose flutter kick does 30%, chews through shields, trades with recovery moves, and is fast enough to be comboed into for amazing damage off very few inputs. Up airs are frequently combo starters and anti-airs, and due to being the highest most characters can reach, typically play important roles as combo finishers and juggling tools. Mario's up air almost single-handedly creates his incredible combo game, which has become the hallmark of his playstyle over the last few installments of Smash. It can kill at very high percents and serves as a good, quick anti-air, but this move's primary purpose is to put people in the air and keep them there as long as possible, which, with platforms to assist you, can be a very long time. Honorable mentions go to Chrom, whose up air works brilliantly as an anti-air and juggling tool, as well as an amazing combo starter when landed, and Sheik, the fastest and most reliable of the upwards drills. These moves are good when used as intended, but amazing when drag down setups are incorporated. Neutral specials are dominated by projectiles and charge moves, which are often one of, if not the most important moves in a character's kit, making this another extremely stacked category. I can't make a serious case for anyone but Shulk in the top slot, though. Monado arts were already very good in Smash 4, but the addition of wheel selection made them absolutely ridiculous, allowing you to, for example, switch to shield art to break right out of an otherwise true combo, meaning that traditional combo games simply fall apart against them in a way that doesn't happen with anyone else. With Buster art, everyone has a combo throw. With jump art, everyone has a recovery. With smash art, everyone can kill. I agonized over some of these categories for a long time, but despite the intense competition, neutral special wasn't one of them. Honorable mentions to Snake, whose frame 1 grenades force a radically different style of gameplay, and Pac-Man. Chargeable projectiles are pretty much all fantastic, but none of them offer the sheer versatility of Bonus Fruit, a move that you could quite literally spend years mastering, and no, that's not an exaggeration. The vast majority of side specials are burst movement options, with projectiles taking up a large chunk of the slack, and both of these are useful attack styles to have. There may be some recency bias here, but there's a reason BanjoKazooie's Wonder Wing has a usage limit. It's really good. Fully invincible, extremely long-ranged, and ridiculously strong, this attack works as everything from a nearly unchallengeable recovery to a hard read to an unfairly early kill confirm. I do hesitate a bit with this one because they are the cool new thing on the block at the time of this video, but even after thoroughly examining the competition, I'm sticking with it. Honorable mentions to Snake, whose Nikita missile has a stronger edgeguard game than some entire characters, and Bowser, whose frame 6 lethal command grab makes shielding anywhere, whether on a platform or against the raging demon turtle flying through the air at you, extremely unsafe. Down specials are a real grab bag, kind of the odd one out for a lot of characters. You'll find everything from counters to status effects to item pulls and everything in between, meaning that their usefulness ranges from indispensable to hardly touched. Wario's Waft means that you need to approach the game as if you have 2.5 stocks rather than 3, or even less if he pulls off multiple wafts in a match, which isn't that uncommon. It's a bit tricky to pull off by itself, but fast enough that confirming into it isn't a problem, even if you don't have Wario's up tilt and up air to abuse. Honorable mentions go to Zero Suit Samus, whose flip kick almost completely removes her disadvantage state and even makes it dangerous to have her cornered, and Link. Let's be clear, these item pulls are all great moves, but Link's bomb does everything, whether that's confirming into a dash grab, ledge trapping, edge guarding, recovering, killing, interacting with the rest of his kit to make his neutral confusing as all hell. You're pretty much always happy to have a bomb in your hand. Finally, we have Up Special, the primary recovery move for the majority of the roster and a recovery move for every character unless you're a literal balloon. They've also traditionally been many characters' ideal attacks out of shield, and while this is slightly less true in Ultimate due to universally low jump squats, it still tends to hold up. Mr. Game & Watch cannot be trapped in his shield, with a frame 3 invincible escape option that also gives him a colossal mix-up game once he takes to the skies. The attack also works great as a traditional recovery move, and even has additional utility for edge guarding and juggling. Trying to keep this little guy pinned down is a legitimate nightmare for most characters. Honorable mentions to Pikachu, who escapes most scary situations for free thanks to Quick Attack, and Link. Funny enough, this final honorable mention was one of the most difficult to decide on, as many of these out-of-shield attacks are vital tools in a character's kit. That said, I think Spin Attack hits the sweet spot. It's a better recovery move than Boost Kick, more dangerous than Whirling Fortress, more reliable than Dolphin Slash, and packs additional utility that many of its competitors lack. And that's on someone with no upwards combo potential. Just picture Spin Attack in the hands of a character designed like Mario or Captain Falcon. His closest competition, in my opinion, is Toon Link, whose own Spin Attack comes out very slightly faster and lacks a sour spot, but is also far less dangerous as an actual kill move. While it's true that Link's up B has competitors which travel further or activate faster, Spin Attack strikes the best overall balance of power, recovery, and versatility, giving it the coveted second honorable mention slot. I may have overthought this a bit. I just want to wind things down with 3 attacks that barely missed the cut. Ganondorf's neutral air stays out forever, deals incredible damage and kill power, is one of the best edge guarding moves in Smash, and just for fun, kill confirms off the first hit. It's worth noting though that people tend to pop out of it while rising, even with Ganondorf's low jump height. Jigglypuff's rest would be horribly abusable with certain movesets, but slower characters would likely have trouble due to how close the move's hitbox stays to her body. And Mr. Game & Watch's up smash is extremely safe, powerful, and invincible, making it a phenomenal anti-air and even neutral tool. So why exactly am I bringing these up? To show just how difficult this list was to make. I haven't even gotten to Luigi's Cyclone, Ivysaur's Up Air, Patooie, Phantom, Greninja's Dash Attack. Ultimate's combination of scope and balance is basically unprecedented, and with a wide array of great characters comes a wider array of great moves. However many of these you disagree with, I respect your decision, because there's one thing I'm pretty sure we can all agree on. Shulk clearly has the best neutral B. I don't want to hear any arguments from you fucking mouth breathers. Thanks for watching, everyone, and hey, if you liked it, why not leave a like? In all seriousness, this list was really hard to make, so tell me what you think I got right and wrong in the comments. But before that, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for more MockRock content, follow me on Twitter at Mr. MockRock to see what I'm up to, and check me out on Patreon for exclusive content including a commentary track for this video, to join the community on Discord, as well as for other cool rewards. Later, people! Good old tier list, a nice clean way of displaying the strengths of each character in a competitive game, or as of the last few months, really anything at all. Just because we're all using the same format though. Today we take a deeper look at only the biggest of big moves Smash Ultimate has to offer, why they don't see much play on the tournament stage, and what you can do if you are desperate to pull them off.